Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Thank you for joining us today. Today we will be speaking about awesome bikes you might not know. Please watch the entire video to figure out all the details. And guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe and click the bell notification. Alright then, let's get started. Some motor enthusiasts passionately support and even celebrate automobiles like the Ferrari F40 and the Noble M600 that offer no-frills versions with limited technology aids. On the other contrary, many motorbike enthusiasts claim that performance and exhilarating speed could only be inside a steel frame protected by a crumple zone. Bikers even argue that a race-tuned superbike is the only way to be one with the machine and take on forces of nature with properly calibrated power. When it comes to fashion, the phrase timeless design refers to historical icons and futuristic and contemporary items that will be relevant for decades to come and feature aesthetics that will transcend generations. Modern design technology eliminates the need for mainstream bike manufacturers to sacrifice aesthetics to fit smart aero kits and other race equipment. In any case, shouldn't something be said about the unexpected yet invaluable treasures? Extraordinary bikes that in some way are outdated don't get the exposure they merit or are, for some other explanation, essentially ignored? Here, in no specific request, and with the sole reason for featuring the absolute most prominent current bikes you might have overlooked, is our pick of the best of some awesome unknown bikes across all classifications and makers. You might be shocked by what's in there. Number 1. Triumph Bonneville. If you request apart from the general population to draw you a cool bike, you will most likely end up with an unpleasant drawing of the Triumph Bonneville. Assuming there was ever a cruiser that typifies the idea of cool, it's the notorious bike from Hinckley. Named after Jack Wilson's 1956 land speed track record of 214.17 miles per hour, the Bonneville was a moment accomplishment upon its delivery in 1959. With its high-pressure cylinders, twin carbs, and one-piece driving rod, the Bonneville was the class-driving games bike of its day. Also, this presentations, combined with Triumph's British style, made the Bonneville the bikes to be seen on. It was anything but an incident that Clint Eastwood, Bob Dylan and Elvis Presley all rode T120s. However, ruler of cool Steve McQueen got the bikes its incredible status. The new Bonneville has sufficient sorcery to make purchasers want more of a sample of the Wayfarer way of life. Footballer David Beckham has likewise assisted with restoring interest in the brand by taking his own modified Bonneville to the Amazon for the BBC narrative named Beckham Into the Unknown. Sales were up in 2015 and another water-cooled Bonneville was divulged at the EICMA, showing another bearing for the symbol. Number 2. Ducati 916. Not many machines are fit to rise above the separate areas to turn into a perceived piece of mainstream society. The Boeing 747, Aston Martin DB5 and Ducati 916 are maybe the three biggest models. Massimo Tamburini's notorious and ageless bikes were not normal for anything as seen before when it was delivered in 1994. The plan was effective to such an extent that the bikes immediately became a symbol of 90s cool, including in different music recordings and, surprisingly, the blockbuster film Charlie's Angels. The bikes even figured out how to do the unthinkable by getting acknowledgement from the craftsmanship world when the Guggenheim Museum formally acknowledged it as a significant piece of motorcycling history. An illustration of the bikes is even in plain view in the San Francisco Museum of Modern Art. Be that as it may, this achievement would end if the bikes didn't perform on target. Fortunately, Tamburini's plan went as well as it looked, with variations winning in different homegrown and big showdowns. Ducati and King Carl Fogarty's prosperity nearly prompted the downfall of the whole Grand Prix, presently MotoGP title. Most British fans needed to watch a British rider win on bikes that they could go out and purchase at the neighborhood showroom instead of watching some Italian racer on a 500cc two-stroke that had no significance to their bikes at home. The 90s was the time of the superbike. No bike previously or since has caught the public's creative mind like the 916, making it a really notorious and truly cool machine. Number 3. BMW RS1150 Adventure. The BMW GS has forever been an extraordinary bike, yet it's not forever been cool. The huge BMW was the go-to bike for the moderately aged fitting-up top man who needed a pleasant, comfortable evening ride for a long time. Indeed, the bikes could go most of the way all over the planet, and yes, it fundamentally launched the adventure bikes market. Yet, that doesn't be guaranteed to make a machine cool. That was all different in 2003, when Ewan McGregor and his opulent mate Charlie Booman got BMW support for the long way round world outing. They accidentally impacted how we saw adventure bikes until the end of time. Never again were these Bavarian monsters safe for wearing old bookkeepers out. Their amazing excursion showed us that these bikes could be taken through rough terrain, endure having the motors overflowed, and progress forward with broke outlines. Assuming you truly needed a bike that could do everything, you needed to have a GS. The excursion opened the eyes to numerous games bikes riders, me included, who believed speed was everything. Riding on the cutoff and cutting each pinnacle unexpectedly appeared somewhat senseless. Sales of the GS soared for the time being, and surprisingly, in 2015, the GS was surpassing its rivals in general. Sadly, it is feasible to have an overdose of something that is otherwise good. Furthermore, as is commonly said, when you believe you are cool, you've likely lost it. Therefore, the ongoing RGS 1200 has fallen into that moderately aged man exhausting class. So, assuming you need a GS with that X factor, we suggest you search for a unique model with full adventure detail. Number 4. Ducati Sport 1000S. The Ducati Sport Classic figures out how to perfectly strike a balance between retro style and modern plan. It's a truly delightful machine, which makes it surprising that the bike didn't sell well when it was discounted back in 2005. However, the absence of sales was just a reflection of the market at that point. The interest in retro bikes was non-existent. Goodness, how things change, particularly after Beckham's recent Amazon adventure. Amazingly, the trekking world has awakened to retro bikes. The Ducati is, as long last, being recognized for the awesome machine that it forever was. We believe that the standard 1000S is an awesome-looking machine, yet you will need to chase down an illustration of the exemplary Paul Smart limited release for the Connoisseur, which depended on Smart's 1972 Imola winning bikes. Number 5. Arc Vector. Just 399 instances of this motorcycle will go at a bargain as part of a limited production run, making Arc Vector the most lovely and rarest bike ever constructed. The Arc Vector is made from colorful materials like carbon fiber, copper, and leather, sourced economically. Every model is tailor-made to fit the rider. The bike gets a 271-mile NEDC cycle range courtesy of its 16.8 kilowatt battery pack. The maximum velocity of this battery-powered monster is electronically limited to 200 miles per hour. The Arc Vector luxury electric motorcycle's improvement has been wild, yet uplifting news appears on the horizon. The British-made electric motorcycle is presently preparing for deliveries after returning from near death. If you flickered eventually over the most recent 3 years, here's a speedy refresher on Arc's whiplash trajectory. The bike was uncovered as an ultra-premium electric motorcycle in late 2018, sporting a price tag of £90,000, approximately US $120,000. By the summer of 2019, all signs highlighted the bike's heading for production in 2020. A carbon fiber monocoque configuration gives the bikes a futuristic bistro racer profile and permits the battery case to become a structural member, eliminating a traditional frame. Instead of traditional adaptive forks, the front swing arm suspension and the resulting center steering also add to the bike's remarkable plan. The Arc Vector reaches an electronically limited maximum velocity of 200 km per hour, 124 miles per hour. Likewise, the bikes carry a 0 to 100 km per hour, that is 0 to 62 miles per hour season of simply 3.2 seconds. Likewise, the bike operates with a human-machine interface that incorporates a tech-inserted coat to provide haptic input warnings and a unique up-front console HUD cap permitting the rider to keep their eyes on the road while as yet seeing pertinent information. 6. MV Augusta F4 R312. The MV Augusta is perhaps one of the most wonderful machines ever. The Massimo Tamburini-style bikes surprised the motoring world. The MV was the perfect point-by-point machine since the 1994 Ducati 916. With a resonant 750cc motor and faultless, taking care of the F4 750 was nothing to joke about for the little Italian organization. However, the 750cc bike isn't the coolest F4. That award goes to the 2007 F4 R312. The 1000cc 183 bhp 312 km per hour, that is 193 miles per hour rocket was the quickest 1000cc superbike on the market at that point, and the riding experience was savage. The fueling wasn't great, the grasp was tricky to utilize, and bars would frequently trap your thumbs on full lock. Yet, there is a cool thing about bikes with one goal: going quick. Indeed, a GSXR 1000 Yamaha R1 or Honda Fireblade would be a cheaper and progressively better alternative. However, we don't desire them as we do with the MV. They give us delightfully imperfect Italian bikes every time. Gracious, and did we specify Bruce Wayne has one? Number 7. MV Brutal Dragster RR. There frequently comes a period where few manufacturers need to extend their range to secure their survival. It generally prompts vehicles that don't align with the manufacturer's key ethos. Think Porsche Cayenne diesel in the car world. As a result, the trekking world was apprehensive when MV Augusta, the most engaged motorcycle manufacturer globally, chose to produce a stripped entry-level machine. Fortunately, those worries were unwarranted. The 2012 Brutal 675 was a lovely lightweight machine that anybody would have been glad to claim. Number 8. Yamaha YZF R7 OW02. The road-going race bikes like the Honda RC213 VS are pretty awesome machines. However, they're not real race bikes. Eventually, they work to satisfy the dream of rich collectors who needed a limited version MotoGP-inspired machine. Also, they are a great marketing opportunity for the manufacturers to sweeten the deal even further. However, could a marketing opportunity at any point ever be considered cool? We have to take a hard pass. The Yamaha R7 stands apart for us. It's a unique, pure homologation. Constructed so Yamaha could race in the World Superbike Championship, WSBK, it was a true race bike for the road. Powered by a 749cc motor, power yields weren't unreasonably impressive, around 107 bhp. However, 10,000 pounds choice would release another 55 bhp. Just 500 were made and they were sold for £22,000, a tremendous measure of cash for bikes back in 1999. Yet, the aluminium Delta Box 2 frame and factory Olin suspension were pure race bikes, assisting with defending that incredible price tag. The bikes have held their worth over the years, so be prepared to pay £23,000 to get a piece of factory spec activity. Number 9. BMW R90. BMW's Boxer configuration goes as far as possible back to the organization's first endeavor at a motorcycle, the R32, released above and beyond 90 years prior. From that point forward, the Boxer motor has experienced considerable achievement. Yet, in recent years, the car press has criticized the motor format for being a piece outdated, which in all generally is anything but an unfair criticism. With its low revving characteristics and wide cylinder heads restricting ground clearance, the Boxer motor has been designed for the more reserved BMW bikes R1100S Boxer Cup and uber-fascinating HP2 to the side. However, underestimate BMW at your peril. With the resurgence of the scrambler and bistro racer market, BMW believed it would take full advantage of the old-fashioned style of its no-table motor and bundled it into a retro roadster plan. Yet, rather than relying purely on its motorcycling heritage like a few other manufacturers, taking a gander at you Royal Enfield, BMW planned the R9T to have a thoroughly modern body. The Beamer can outbrake, outhandle and out-accelerate any of the other retro roadsters. Number 10. Virus 987 C3 4V. Hollywood A-lister Tom Cruise has areas of strength for the Italian bike maker Virus. The Italian brand is famous for building probably the most modern and lovely curiosity bikes. With an underwriting that way, it's nothing unexpected that the 987 C3 4V made it on our rundown. The Italian bike is controlled by a 211 bhp Ducati Octane motor that is supercharged and introduced into a customized, tailor-made outfit created out of aluminium and carbon fiber, gauging at only 158 kgs. Costs for these custom bikes start around the six-figure mark. The little Rimini-based Italian organization is right now most popular for creating the Bimota Tessi 2D. However, the organization's new top-of-the-range Virus 987 C3 4VV Bear Superbike will move it to more prominent world fame, jumping past a group of superbikes to turn into the most impressive creation cruiser on the planet. It's more impressive than Ducati's Desmosedici RR, MV Augusta's F4 312RR, Suzuki's Hayabusa, or Kawasaki's ZZ R1400. The center point place guided Virus runs a 211 bhp supercharged 1198cc 1098R Ducati motor, weighs only 158 kgs and costs Euro 65,000, that is US $91,700. The 4VV is the lightest and generally strong of the four Virus variations. The base model 984 C3 2V accompanies a 100 bhp 2-valve 1000 DS air-cooled Ducati motor, tips the scales at a featherweight 150 kg and sells for Euro 33,400, that is US $47,000. A MotoGP bike weighs 148 kg. Well, that's all we have today. If you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe.